Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm going to show you how these guys lie to you, my fellow Europeans. They say that Ukrainian refugees help European labor shortages. Can you believe that? Well, we're going to discuss how could they possibly do that. So here it is, the Kiev Independent, October 18th, 2023. EU official, an idiot, I can tell you right now. Ukrainian refugees help European labor shortages. Well, I'm going to discuss how is that possible. Well, let's see. The arrival of Ukrainian refugees, cheap labor that is, unskilled labor, mind you, into the European Union has had a positive effect on the European labor market. European Commissioner for Jobs and Social Rights Nicolas Schmit said in an interview with Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, on October 17th. According to the latest EU figures, 1.87 million Ukrainians in 19 European countries have signed an employment contract. So they found jobs, right? Right. Okay. Well, let's see. If they found jobs, that means there were jobs available. That means they are in an economic boom. That's what happens. When there are jobs available, that means you're in an economic boom because businesses expand. When businesses expand, they want employees to work so they can produce, so they can have a profit and then reinvest part of the profits. And then they expand, or they can go and get loans. And then they expand, and again, they need labor. Well, that means that if European Union has an economic boom, they have more jobs than actually labor. The workforce is smaller, actually is smaller than the jobs available. Only then these extra laborers coming into Europe will fill the jobs that were not filled. Why? Because the Europeans are not enough, are not many. More jobs than the labor. Well, let me show you what is the rate of unemployment in the European Union, which should be probably zero. Oh, everybody should have a job, but there will be more jobs. Therefore, the Ukrainian refugees come and they feel that. So companies will expand. But wait, I know that Europe is not in a really economic boom as far as I remember. I think it's in a recession, isn't it? That means they fire people. That means there's less jobs available, and the pool for workers, working pool, right? The labor pool is getting bigger and bigger. That means the companies have from what they can choose. That means it's very much a competition among laborers. For the limited number of jobs, you have this much labor force. Now you bring more Ukrainians, which is going to make it like this. For the same amount, which is shrinking, because you're not expanding the economy, you're shrinking it. So less jobs, more people available. What does that mean? They will compete for lower wages. That means it's excellent for the companies, because instead of, imagine, tomorrow you need an employee, right? Let's say you need a truck driver, right? And you really need a truck driver. You can't find a truck driver. Let's say a truck driver shows up. The only one, because that's the only one available, you will pay that truck driver a lot of money, because without him, you can't transport your shit. Therefore, you're going to give that guy good money. That means he's going to have a good life with his family. That's the way it should be. But problem is, not only one truck driver will apply for the job, but will be 10 million truck drivers. So that means you can hire and fire how many you want daily, and you still have 1 million, I'm just saying, 1 million truck drivers available. Now this is what these guys are telling us. It's one job available, 1 million applicants. Don't believe me? All right, here it is. Ready, set, go. European Union unemployment rate. I said it should be zero, right? Or negative. They need, more jobs than people available to work. But hey, what's going on here? Your unemployment rate in European Union decreased to 5.90% in August from 6% in July. So they are 6%. Let's put it 6%. That means 6% of the labor force doesn't have a job. That means from 100 people, 6 don't find a job. And you bring extra. So you bring from the 6, you make it not 100, you make it 120. So instead of having 6%, you're going to have 6 plus 20. My friends, this is a garbage statement. If you bring cheap labor, you increase the workforce pool where the big companies can choose at a lower wage. All these guys that cross the border in this country illegally, they will work half the income you work as an American. When I first came in the United States of America, I would have done a teaching job half of your price. So if you were paid then, let's say $20 an hour, I would have done it for 10. They would have fired you and hired me. But guess what? Well, they protect themselves. Therefore, I can't compete with you that fast. I can't compete with an engineer. I can't compete with a college professor because they defend their little jobs. But hey, I could have gotten a job for a, laborer. As a truck driver, I would compete with those guys. As a customer service, pipe layer, construction, roofer, all these things, I was competing with those guys. That means I were depressing their income. So all those guys, whatever they had, when I showed up, I made it lower. They earned lower. Why? Because I was selling myself for much less. Why? Because I didn't have anything. I came with nothing, with my hand in my ass, all right? And that's it, in a backpack, and that was it. No children, no responsibility. You, on the other hand, you had probably a car, probably a house, a wife, 2 or 3 children. You have the children involved in sports or wherever. You are like this. And Emil shows up and says, hey, I want to work half the price this guy does. He's going to fire you just like this and hire me. Of course, he's gonna save money. So, yeah, it helps. What was the title of this garbage? What was the title? EU official, Ukrainian refugees help European labor shortage. Now, why do you have a labor shortage? That is maybe because you as a country are incapable of figuring out your economy. That means you don't have a trained labor force. That means you don't have a good economy to provide the jobs and the people that are able to fill those jobs. Okay? So in charge is whom? Who fucked up again? They. And they import cheap labor to fuck your jobs and your income. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.